Okay, 8.2 was way too long, so I'm going to try to not make it that long this time. Okay, 8.3 is circles. On your notes, it says circle is the set of all points in a plane that are equidistant. I'm not going to write the whole thing out just to save us some time. Equidistant from a point called the center. Okay? Here's the equation of a circle. It is x minus h squared plus y minus k squared equals r squared. And this is what we're going to call standard form, because this is how we can graph it pretty easily. And these are actually, circles are really easy to graph, okay? So the center of our circle is going to be our HK. Notice, because they're coming out, and we had these negatives here already, these say opposite of. So we don't use the negative, we always change the sign. And so that'll be our center. And then r, just r, so we got to square root whatever's there. So I can do this. Square root of r squared, which is r, is the radius. Okay? All right, so let's get started on this. Again, I'm trying to make this short and not really, really long. I apologize when it's really long. Number 1, write an equation for a circle that has a center of negative 4, 2. There's our h and k. And a radius of 8, so that's our r. So here's what I would do. I'm going to write out the original formula. You don't have to do this every time. I'm just going to do this once so you kind of see where the negatives and where things come from, okay? So I'm going to put my h in there. My h is negative 4, okay? Then I put my k in there, which is 2. And then I put my r in there. And now I'm going to simplify everything. Okay, so this is really x plus 4 squared. And this is x minus 2 squared. And this is 64. You don't have to memorize the standard form. You just have to know how to use it, because you can use your notes on your test. Okay? Let's go to number 2, because you're going to see a couple problems like this, and I want to make sure that you know how to do it. It says, write the equation of a circle if it has endpoints of 2, 8, and 2, negative 2. This is where we're going to use our 8.1 stuff. The first thing is we need to find the middle. Well, what do we find? How do we find a middle? Midpoint formula. So it's going to be 2 plus 2. Whoa, I don't know why I just jumped like that. 2 plus 2 over 2. And 8 plus negative 2 over 2. So now we know our center is 2, 3. So we know our h and k. There they are. Okay? Now we got to find the radius. Now be careful of this. I got to think through this. So that means I have to use distance formula. But these are the 2 endpoints. You got to read the questions carefully. On the homework, be careful. I did one completely wrong. These are the endpoints. So this is going to give us our diameter. Okay? So the square root of 2 minus 2 squared. And if you don't remember how to do distance formula, go back to that video, because I want to move through this like you know how to do it. Squared, and I get a square root of 100, so d equals 10. But remember, that's my diameter. So I mean my radius is going to be 5, okay? So be careful of that. So let's just fill in what we know now. So it's going to be x minus 2 squared plus y minus 3 squared equals 5 squared. Now, instead of rewriting the whole thing, let's make it easy and erase it and put 25. Okay? So that's how we would do that problem. I kind of went a little fast with that, so if you have some questions, make sure you either ask me or your teacher if you need a little help with those. I went a little bit fast on that. Okay? All right, now let's graph it. Let me show you how to graph it. Okay, so number 3, it already gives you the equation in perfect form. You know what's coming is we're going to have to complete the square, and I can't wait because we get to complete the square twice in one problem. It's so fun. Okay, anyway, this one's already in perfect form. So our center is going to be 4. Remember, we got to change the signs, and negative 1. There's our center. And our radius, remember, is the square root. Always remember it's the square root of whatever is right here. Okay, this is r squared. So the square root of that is 3. So here's how you would graph this. I think you're going to like this because it's actually an easy graph. You don't even need your graph calculator. You put your center, 4, -1, 1, 2, 3, 4, -1, put a dot. And then I'm not asking for anything perfect. We know the radius is 3, so we're going to go up 3, 1, 2, 3. We're going to put a little mark. We're going to go to the right 3, 1, 2, 3, put a little mark, put a little mark, put a little mark. And then we just do our best to make a circle. Okay, that's all I'm looking for when you're graphing a circle. Okay, 2 more problems, and this is where we're going to have to do some completing the square. All right, number 4. Number 4 looks like this. X squared plus y squared plus 6x minus 7 equals 0. I immediately know this is a circle because I have an x squared and a y squared, and they have the same coefficient in front of them. Okay? They both have a 1 in front of them. As long as their coefficient is exactly the same, negative, they both are positive, and they both have a 1. But it's not in the form that I can graph. So I'm going to rearrange things so that I can have things, and this is how I'm going to rearrange it, because we're going to complete the square twice. I'm going to put x squared plus 6x together, because that goes with it, and we need something next to it so that this becomes a perfect square trinomial. Okay, then I'm going to deal with my y. Okay, so I'm going to put a y here, but I don't have any other y's in there. I'm putting my y squared, and that 7's just in the way, so I'm going to add it to both sides. And so I'm putting the 7 over here just to get it out of the way. So, oh, I don't even need to put it that far. I don't need to complete the square, and I'll show you why in a minute, for the y squared. Okay, it's already a perfect square. Y squared is already a perfect square. So let's just complete the green part. Oh, I better put a green square over here, though, right? If I added a square, I better add a square. So again, half it. You know how to do this now. 9 goes in here. So I end up with 16. So my center in this case is going to be -3, and because there's nothing in parentheses with the y, and some of you already guessed it, it's 0. My radius, remember, is going to be the square root of whatever number's over there. So it's going to be 4. And then I'm just going to graph it like I just showed you. So that wasn't too bad. We only had to complete the square once. It's going to be difficult for those of you that completing the square doesn't come easily. I just screwed that up. If I would do things right the first time, my videos could be a little shorter. All right. So let's put our center. Our center is -3, 0, 1, 2, 3, 0. And then we're up 4 over 1, 2, 3, 4, and to the right 4, and down 4, and to the left 4, and make our circle. Beautiful. That's a terrible circle, but that's okay. I can see where you put your points, okay? All right, let's do this one. Oh, these are so fun. I'm sorry. I really like these. Okay. So we have this mess. X squared plus y squared plus 2x plus 4y equals 9. I can tell it's a circle, again, because look at my coefficients in front of my x and y. Both x and y are squared, so it's not a parabola. And it's a positive 1 in front of both of them. That means they have matching coefficients, therefore it's a circle, but it's in the wrong form. So let's start putting in the right form. So I'm going to put x squared over here with this. I'm going to put the 2x next to the x, because that's what I'm going to use to complete the square, and I'm going to put my box. All right, now I'm going to deal with my y. So I have my y squared. I'm going to put my 4y next to that. And you can use a different shape. I like to use a triangle. I know Miss Snowden used a diamond, and actually gives you more shape when you do a diamond than a triangle. And then what do I have on my other side? I have a 9. But what did I bring into this problem? Well, I brought in a square, so I better put a square over here. And I also brought in a diamond, and I made it too skinny. So we just are really completing the square twice. So this one's going to be x plus 1. 1 squared goes in the box. This one's going to be y plus 2. 2 squared is 4, so that goes in the box. So over here I put a 1, and over here I put a 4. Okay, all I did was complete the square twice. If you're having trouble with completing the square, you need to talk to us so I can help you with that. And you can already see it's taken nice form. And so that equals 14. Okay, so what's the center? The center is -1, -2, and the square root of 14, and this time we're going to need an approximate answer in order to graph, is approximately 3.75. And so I put that in my calculator. I did the square root of 14 in my calculator and got an approximate answer. Obviously, when I go to grade your circles, I can't tell if you put 3.75 or 3.7. You know, just try to be as close as you can. -1, -2 is my center. That I am looking for. And then I need to go 3.75. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. So about there. 1, 2, 3. So about there. 1, 2, 3. So right about there. And then 1, 2, 3, right about there. Okay, so try your best to make it look like 3.75 and draw your circle. It's really cool to complete the square twice, I think, but you know, so that's how you do that. Let me know if you need some more help.